so thank you for what you do. And honestly, I'm not sure how Natasha got my name. And I'm not sure exactly I'm on target with what you want to hear, but this is what you got. So, a little bit about myself. I'm the general manager of the International Paper Box Plant here in Gilroy. We make corrugated boxes, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. And back up a little bit on my history. I'm a mechanical engineer by education. I worked for about 12 years as an engineer in a paper mill and lab work and all that before I got into management. And I've been managing box plants for the last 26 years, I guess. So been around the industry. I love the industry. It's very, very dynamic. So let's see if we get going here. So a little bit about international paper. We're over 100 years old. Okay? For a company today, that's really is amazing. We're back 1898. We have about 58,000 employees. We're in 24 countries. We're headquarters in Memphis, Tennessee, and we have about $24 billion in net sales. And this is Mark Sutton, our CEO. He's been on in the helm for the last little over a year, and he's an electrical engineer by education. He worked up. He's been with International Paper for over 30 years. He worked up through the mill system as an engineer, and eventually got to being our CEO. We're a global company. We're we're everywhere. We have North America. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but we have joint ventures in Russia and China, and it really makes us an attractive offering as a public company because we can ride out the economies as things change. Very, very important to us. This has been very consistent since I've been with International Paper to Mark Sutton's predecessor. The vision, we'll talk about more in a minute about some of the awards that we received, but our vision is to be one of the most respected and successful companies in the world. We've got a mission statement that we're not talking specifically about corrugated or anything else, but we're going to improve the world today for generations to come by using renewable resources to make products people depend on every day. And our value proposition is around leadership, results, and responsibility. Let's see if this one right here, we've been recognized, I think, for the last 5 years at least that I know of, as one of the most ethical companies in the United States. So that is, we value that award, and I think it speaks highly about the expectation from the very top to the very bottom of the organization. Our business is broken up into 3 divisions. The industrial packaging division, which I'm a part of, makes up about 62% of our net sales. So that's what we're in business to do. The others, consumer packaging, these coffee cups. In fact, that looks like one that's made by Celia, by our consumer products division. And then we also have paper, white paper, that a lot of what we use for typing and all that stuff. But again, our main focus is around industrial packaging. In our industrial packaging, we've got about 18,000 employees, and here in the United States, or North America, we've got 190 converting facilities. And I'll show a map here in a minute. We're all over. We're the largest. More than one in 3 boxes made in North America comes from one of our plants. We make about 100 million boxes a day in North America. It's about 25 billion. And what we look for, we're working on is, besides just a normal traditional box, we're also into bulk packaging and retail displays and some other high graphing things. And really, we're almost like a machine shop. Someone wants a widget, that's what we make. It has their specific name, logo on it. It's the size they want. It's not like we set up and run all day for a specific customer, generic item. So in North America, we have 130 box plants up in the United States, and we have some in South America. Part of what I'm showing some of this is there's just huge opportunities within International Paper if you want to move up, if you want to relocate to other parts of the world. This is looking more here in California. Just those are the dots. Those are all of the box plants. Container. We have no mills in California to do anything in California with our environmental regulations. Never happened. And then you can see where we're located all across the United States. So a little bit about our mills, and this is actually where I spent over 10 years working in not this mill, but a very similar one. A lot of need for engineers in the mills. It's very technical. It's big stuff. I'll show you more about it in a minute, but great opportunity for the people that are focused on the sciences. So what happens in our mills is trucks bring in wood. It goes through then, this is where it debarks and chips it and sends it over into a chip pile. The chip then is transported to these digesters. And chips go into the very top, steam, very accurately controlled sodium hydroxide is put in there. By the time it works down to the bottom of the digester, it comes out where the sodium hydroxide breaks apart the lignin that glues the wood fibers together, and when it comes out the very bottom of that digester, it's single individual fibers that then go transported over to a paper machine where it's put onto a wire. This is the beginning of the paper machine, call it a Denier, and there's 0.5% fibers in it. 99.5% is water. And it's very accurately distributed across the wire as it's moving about 2,500, 300 feet, 3,000 feet a minute. Then it's wound up on the very end into big jumbo rolls, and then it's cut into individual customer size rolls. And one of those would be what I get here in a box plant. As in the mills, we recruit for engineers. And this is a little bit out of from our recruiting group, but if you're interested in chemical engineering, I mean, that's what a paper mill is all about. It really is chemistry. And it's hands-on, it's neat work, I'll be honest. I love being in the mill. If you're an electrical engineer, huge power distribution system, turbine generators, a lot of work around that. And a great field too, high demand for electrical engineers. Mechanical engineers is my background, and again, there's just a lot of opportunities for any of the engineering sciences. We recruit students for internships and give them opportunities. This is one group that was recently recruited at one of the paper mills, and they worked the summer there. And there are some, when they recruit, they go through a selection process. Yeah. They're college. They're recruited out through the college. So if you're driving north on 101 and you look off to the side, this is the international paper facility that I manage. We were built back in 1968 as a greenfield operation by Crown Zellerback, and through the years we've been acquired by quite a few different companies. And today we're with International Paper that has 33% of the total market. At our facility, we have 27 salaried employees and 74 hourly employees. They are represented by a union, and our average tenure is about 18 years. So we get people and they stay. But the new generation coming on is making it more difficult to bring people into our old industry. I'll let you a little bit about that. But these are customers that I service from here. Gurmway Farm Giant, we make most of their berry boxes for the Watsonville, Salinas area. Tan Maryland Animal, their lettuce boxes. Christopher Ranch, great customer. Monterey Mushrooms Church. Ocean Mist Farms is an account we got about a year ago now. Jay Marchini. So these are all local accounts. So the things that I'm looking at, we modernized the plant a few years ago, And our machinery that we put in is high tech. In fact, in 2010, we had 140 hourly employees. We went to 74 hourly employees with the modernization. So, the senior people retain their jobs, and here's one of our long-term operators. He had to learn to use the computer. All machines are run by computer now.
So you don't have all those racks and racks and racks of templates hanging up there?
The dies, so we have a specific, someone wants a widget, it has a set of printing dies, it has a set of cutting dies if it's die cut, specific to that job. Oh yeah. And those are put onto these machines. And, yeah.
You do field trips?
We absolutely do. We do.
I used to, when it was Gaylord Box Company, I took kids every year. That was fabulous. I mean, now I'm looking at
We're
these
night and
machines.
day difference to what
I
it
know,
was
I'm
when
looking
you
at
saw
those
it.
machines, I'm thinking maybe not as interesting anymore.
Oh, it is. It's fascinating to go through there, and most people have no idea what's involved in making a box. You really don't. It looks simple, but we get rolls of paper in, out of box rail cars. Most of it comes in from rail. They're big clamp trucks that lift up 4,000 to 6,000 pound rolls. Put them on a machine that they all go together, and they got to have steam and heat and special starch and all these things, and things have to be set just right. And
We came a lot of times to watch the peach boxes because they do racks too, and that was pretty interesting. And then the water treatment was always really interesting. The water was cleaner than it was when it went in. But there were a lot of, with the new next generation science standards and all the engineering focus in the old factory, there were a lot of pieces to see. How much of it can you actually see now that it's going through these computerized machines?
see it all. You can still walk up next to the machine. You can see the board going into the machine. These doors open up, and you don't see much inside, but you see coming out the back side. See where it's die cutting and it's stacking it all. It's
Could you supply the contact information, address,
For field trips.
set up a filter?
Yeah, all of your folders have contact information for our speakers. There's no attendees.
And all I ask is if when they come in, we need to make sure there's no open-toed shoes, and that's really about it. We'll supply the safety gear, and we'll break them up into small groups and take them through the facility. So what do we need? This is real basic. It's a time clock. But you wouldn't believe the amount of problems you have. People need to be there on time. I run three shifts.
We live it.
What's that?
We live that.
Yeah.
We just can't.
Target.
Well, we have a very strict attendance policy, and we adhere to it. I don't feel bad about terminating anybody for they don't come up and show up to work. The person that they're relieving, we're running these machines 24 hours a day. They can't go home until their replacement, their mate comes in and they actually talk. So, real.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah, they need to hear it from you. They don't believe us. Yeah.
I showed a little bit, our machines are computer operated, but they also have to, we do our quality checks, everything is computerized. The order goes to the machine in a computer, they pull it down, they pull all the information off, the specifications are in there, they have to do the quality checks, they have to log into the computer what the quality checks were. And this is one of the quality checks. I put it in here because you wouldn't believe the amount of people that don't know how to read a tape measure.
Oh, yes, I believe it.
Okay. It's fundamental to what we're doing.
Are you using English or American?
We only go down to the 16ths, and it's all English. Yeah. But the sciences are continuing to be used on here. This is an operator. We print with inks, and he's measuring the viscosity. I know you talked about that. He's measuring the pH of the ink, and he's making adjustments to keep it within a range for. So we still are fairly labor intensive. This is easier than it used to be. They would literally have to pick up the loads after made and stack them in corner stackers. This is an automatic machine, but he has to push these 50-pound bundles over into them, and he has to, he has to use some thinking. This is the junior-most person on a machine, but he has to think through how the load is supposed to be so it goes down to the operation and gets to the customer with the right pallet size and all that. But every person that we hire is expected to operate a machine. Even though we have utility positions, we have everybody at some point in their career is going to move up. They're expected to operate a machine. We don't have career utility workers or career janitors or anything like that. This looks pretty easy. I mean, we're loading, Rudy there's loading out a load right here. But he has to go through the math of how much is going to fit onto the trailer, how many pallets is going to go onto there. He has to know the pallet size, then he has to estimate the weights because sometimes we weigh out on trucks. So, even as just a forklift driver, there's a lot of math that they have to use. And one of the hardest areas we're currently having problems with recruiting for is our maintenance department. Okay, we're paying close to $30 an hour, but we're competing against the high tech. They can be in lab coats and all that. This is it could be dirty work. Kind of summary, when we hire, we're looking for that dependability, that person that will be there, time clock, is willing to punch the time clock, be there on time. Highly motivated, results driven. We have goals on every one of the machines. Our crews know what the goals are. We work at setting those, and it's something, not everybody can go into a manufacturing facility and run a machine day in and day out. They're not, that's not their type of work. So we get that. They come in, it's not their cup of tea, and they go off to do something else. But if that is the type of work they need to be driven. And they're actually, most of them are very competitive. They don't want to see the person that they're relieving, the other crews outrunning what they're doing. We need the critical thinking skills. We do a lot of training, but they need to be able to use it and think through when there's a problem on a machine, when the ink's not right, or the die cut's not right, the machine's misbehaving, or something like that. They need to be thinking through how, what the issues are and how to resolve them. In our current, we are a union facility, but our current contract, we've got language in it now that anybody can do anything that they're qualified for. So I'm not going to ask an operator to go in and get into an electrical panel and do something he's not qualified for. But an operator, if he has a problem, should be able to get a wrench and fix it. And so we're continuing to work on training around that. So that leads into just having a mechanical aptitude. And I guess a willingness to learn and embrace change, because change happens every day. You see the amount of times that we've been owned by different companies, and expectations change every time it happens. So, and we used to hire in the old days for someone that could do the job. We're not doing that anymore. We're really looking for a good person. We'll train, but we look at someone that has some core values in them. And we try to assess that. They go through online testing, background checks, and then that'll lead to a face-to-face interview.